Yeah, I think it might have been my first. Yeah, I think my first year we had a power play and there was a puck in the corner. It was kind of just like sitting there. It was kind of tied up in someone's skates, and I was trying to dig for it. And he cross-checked me a few times and kind of looked at the ref. The ref wasn't calling anything. Slashed him back, and then he cross-checked me 3 or 4 times. I think they called it on the seventh cross-check. So he gave us a 5-on-3, and it's funny talking to him about that situation because. At that time I was 18 or 19, and he was a little bit older than me at that point. So he might have been in his 40s, so might have been twice my age. But it was fun going up against him and being able to get a chance to play against him. And um, one of the best, if not the best, American-born player ever. So definitely looked up to him when I was younger.
For you on Sunday, is your son old enough to kind of appreciate it? I mean, is that the cool part, or no, he just like...
I mean, he knows the teams I played for, but
Yeah.
doesn't really know the history and what we accomplished there. But it'll be fun to spend time with my family and just enjoy it with them the night before, and then obviously the game, and just hopefully settle in pretty quickly and just focus on the game and play well and enjoy that too. But it's a little bit different now, obviously, with the organization and different coach and different GM, president, owner, all that stuff since I started there. So feels a little bit different, but still enjoy it with the fans and just enjoy the whole night.
You kind of disappointed it ended the way it did, Patrick, or just, I don't know, business and things?
Not really, no. I mean, it was a great run, and I think we were kind of at the point in time when it was, I think for the organization and myself, it was probably good to start fresh and just enjoy something different, right? I mean, I know they're, even the last year or two, kind of in the rebuilding phase. Kyle said that's what he wanted to do when he came in as GM, and kind of stuck to that plan. So it was exciting for me to get a chance to play in New York last year and kind of appreciate that experience and do something different. And now, being in Detroit and going through it a second time, it feels a little bit more comfortable. But just obviously happy about everything we accomplished there and what we were able to do, especially, in my first 8-9 years there. And now, really excited and happy to be here and about the opportunity of being part of this group and what we can accomplish this year.
How great was it when you guys were rolling? I mean, winning all those cups. It didn't seem like there weren't too many more markets that were better than that.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, I think when you go through it, you don't realize how lucky and appreciative you can be. Man, I mean, we had some players on that team, and I think the great thing about that team is there was, we were really close as a group, but there's a lot of, inner competition too, right? Like, if Taves did something, I wanted to do something. If Seabrook did something, Keith wanted to do something on the ice, and we're always trying to prove our worth. We're never really satisfied with where we were at. So definitely owe those guys a lot when I think of, Seabrook, Keith, and Taves, and Sharp, and Hossa, and Jalmerson, guys like that were there with me for a long time. So, definitely lucky and fortunate to be drafted into that organization with that team, and what we accomplished was great.
What's it going to take to stay in a good group with this team right now?
I think we're finding ways to win without, playing our best. I think, I can play a lot better too, but just the group in general, I think we can be even better than we are. So the good thing is we're finding ways to win. The last couple games, and even the game against Vancouver at home, and we were down 3-1. So, that's obviously a great trait to have, especially as you get into late into the year. But the important thing is to keep rounding our game, keep building, not be satisfied. Even though we're winning games, I think we can still play better.
You've been through the playoffs obviously many times. Do you feel the anticipation building a little bit here now?
Yeah.
There's a ways to go.
Yeah, what do we have? I think we have 27 games left, or which is pretty much a third of the season left, and obviously a lot can happen, but we put ourselves in a good spot, and I think we feel pretty confident about our group. be a big couple weeks here. You never know what happens at the trade deadline, but just to kind of put ourselves into a position where we feel like we can make a run to the playoffs. And I've said this before. I think it's a group in here that can win a 7-game series against anyone. So there's a lot of potential, a lot of depth. I think that's what we had on teams when we won in Chicago. A lot of depth. Anyone can step up on any given night, and if you do that and you have a team like that, then you can win.
You've done it before, but a lot of guys in here haven't done it before. Do they lean on you? Do you talk to them? Is it too early for that, or is that coming?
I think as you get more comfortable, and guys probably get more comfortable around me, you get field some more questions, and people ask you about different experiences and what our teams were like in the past, and why our teams are successful. So definitely good to share those moments too.
Long way to go, as you mentioned, but as someone who grew up watching this team at its best, would it be extra special for you to kind of help them back to the playoff for the first time in 8 years?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've played. I know I've only played 24 games here, and the majority of the guys have done the work in here. But definitely feel like I can be a big part of the group, especially going down into the stretch here and into playoffs. And it's a good group. Like I said, a lot of depth. A lot of players that can probably even get more ice time than they're getting right now. So I think that's what happens when you have a lot of depth, but you can lean on a lot of guys too. So it'd be great to get back to the playoffs and see what Hockey Town's all about.
For a young core that hasn't experienced the playoffs, how important was it for Steve to bring in a lot of veterans in the offseason here that have gone through that?
Yeah, I think it helps. I mean, we were a pretty young team in Chicago, and guys like Brian Campbell and Marion Hossa signed, and kind of gave us some veteran leadership a little bit. I'm not too familiar with what's happened here the past few years, but I know they've been kind of building something with just I guess you could say their young core with guys like Larkin and Raymond and Sider, and there's definitely a good mix of veterans in here too that have been through it, been to finals, know what it takes. So I think it's a good mix.